Ashe. Greetings. A grand rising. A grand day and peace and goodwill to you all once again, my fellow natural native earthly humans. Yes, you, the earth's organic humans and soulful humans, you, my fellow humans with soul the world over. Yes, you don't know. I am yours truly, I, the mystic philosopher. And many thanks for stopping by and giving up your time to listen to another perspective with yours truly, I, the mystic philosopher. And welcome to this part 15. And this the continuation of the great big black and white lie exposed. Now, if by chance you have not yet watched part 1 through to part 14, and hopefully in that consecutive order, I ask that you please do so before watching this part 15, or that you do so at your earliest convenience. You'll get much more out of this series, or a better understanding, and overstanding if you do so you can make the right critiques and so forth. Now, for those of you who have been following this series thus far, or might have been listening to me speak on this topic elsewhere over the years, you will have noticed, and no doubt came to the conclusion that I, the mystic philosopher, have made it my personal mission to expose this lie, and by extension exposed these lies, yes, the great big black and white lie, and to have most of you, if not all of you, my people and others to whom it may concern, come to the knowledge of the truth and to be enlightened to the destructive effects this lie, and by extension these lies, have had and are having on every aspect of our lives. And begin to redeem yourself from the curses of being ignorant to this lie, and by extension ignorant to these lies. For as it has been written thousands of years ago, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and my people perish. Why? Because they lack knowledge. And as it is my custom, let me remind you of my main objectives, meaning the goals that I hope to have achieved by the end of this series, and the messages and facts that I intend to successfully convey to you all, my very patient, astute, and tolerant watchers, listeners, and evidently truth seekers. Remember, you shall know the truth, and the truth set you free. Number 1, and my objectives are at least 8, and they are as follows. Number 1 is to show and prove to you all, my fellow highly melanin and highly carbon skin complexion, natural native earthly humans, why we should not and why we must not call ourselves black, be black. Number 2 is to show and prove to you why we should not and why we must not pronounce upon ourselves black, or allow others to pronounce upon us the word black. Number 3, why we should not and why we must not identify with the word black, answer to the word black, or allow others to call, label, list, identify, name, and bestow on us black. As a black people, a black community, a black business, a black nation, a black country, a black race of people, etc., etc. And number 4, and by the same token, it is to show and prove to you why we should not and why we must not call, label, list, identify, name, and bestow on Caucasians or anyone or any other melanin deficient and carbon deficient skin complexion race of people, for that matter, we should not bestow upon them the word white. And number 5 is to show and prove to you that the English word black, or more correctly, the English word black, is a curse word, a curse word. It is a word that brings bad luck. It is a word that brings a bad omen. It brings subjugation, humiliation, mental and physical enslavement, and misfortune, and much, much more upon those whom it has been called, cast, and broadcast. And number 6 is to show and prove to you that the earth and all her inhabitants, or Mother Earth and all her inhabitants, are under the spell, under the curse of black. Yes, and blackness. And number 7 is to show and prove to you that the Caucasoid imperialists and colonizers own dictionaries, namely the English dictionaries, that the people that have called the name, label, and listed themselves as white people, and are calling, naming, labeling, listing themselves white, are not at all white. It is to show and prove that nothing about them is at all white. In fact, it is to also show and prove that if or when most things, if not all things, are intelligently, honestly, seriously, meticulously, and sincerely considered, most of them, if not all of them, are black. That they are the real and true black ones. That they are the real and true black people, and thus, in accordance to their own English dictionaries, meaning and definition of the word black, coupled with their works, coupled with their actions, coupled with their history and their track record, most of them, if not all of them, are the ones that should and must be called, labeled, listed, and named black. And I ask that you please stay tuned and pay close attention to this point as I delve deeper and deeper into this topic. And it is also to show and prove to you that not all the people that are called, labeled, listed, and named black are indeed black. Again, that's a very important point. We'll be dealing with it separately. Number 8, and final one for now, final objective for now, is to show and prove to you that this our current existence upon this planet is a game, and one in which we melanin, yes, we highly enriched melanin and carbon skin complexion people are being played like pawns on a chessboard. It's a game that is heavily stacked against us, and that in order for us to change the game in our favor, or at least for us to get a fair shot at it, we have to change the name black and all of its synonyms and euphemisms as well. We deal with that as we get further into this series. Now, in the last session, part 14, I focused on 4A of the meanings and definitions of the curse word black from one of the English dictionaries, namely the Winston Canadian Dictionary for Schools. And I quote, 4A, black without moral goodness, unquote. Simply meaning, black is without moral goodness. And one popular saying that I heard as a child growing up in Jamaica is this. The saying is, anything black, no good. Meaning, anything or anyone that is black is not good. And I did so with the intention of focusing on 4B. When I dealt with 4A in the last session, I did so with the intention of now focusing on 4B in this part 15, this next section, part 15. And I quote, what I intended on focusing on for B is black evil. Black meaning black evil. As black deeds, unquote. Simply meaning, or a simple translation, black is evil. And again, I ask you to check your dictionaries. And if you can get the hard copy dictionary, you're better off, because a lot of things are now being sanitized. But we'll get to that as we continue as well. So black is evil. The word black is synonymous to the word evil. But having read for you one AI in the last session, having read for you one AI overview of what is moral goodness, I promised there and then that I would have to revisit that AI overview, because there are lots of very important information, insights and facts that are buried therein that I honestly think I should reveal and highlight, and not just browse over it as I continue to show and prove to you all that the curse word black is not a good name to be called by. It is not a good title to identify with. It is not a good name or a label to answer to. It is not a good list to be listed on. From my perspective, no one of knowledge and sound mind coupled with an activated common sense wants or desires to be on a blacklist, any blacklist for that matter. And nor is it a good sound, energy, a good frequency or vibration to have pronounced over you, and to have cast, broadcast, recast and rebroadcast on you or your family, etc. And in summary, I also told you that those who knowingly, intentionally, covertly, deceptively, denigratingly, and otherwise call, label, name, list, sanctioned, and blacklisted us, the Earth's organic humans, the Earth's natural native earthly humans, the Earth's highly melanin enriched and highly carbon skin complexion humans, the Earth's human with soul, the people of soul, etc., as black, are really and truly the black ones that are among us. They are the real and true black group of people. They are the real and true black race of people by every sense and meanings and definitions of the English word black. They are indeed the real and true black people. They are indeed the real moral deficient and spiritually condemned people that are causing havoc, have caused and are still causing havoc, mayhem, sickness and sicknesses, suffering, injustice, terror, death and destruction. You name it or you name them. They are the ones that are causing the problem upon the earth. The evidence has shown, and the evidence continues to show, that they are a suicidal group and race of people that are not only a threat to themselves and to their own survival, but they are a threat to the survival of all life forms on this our planet and Mother Earth. The evidence has shown, and the evidence continues to show, that they are the people, the group of people, the race of people that are the creators of all forms of weapons of mass destruction. Not just weapons, but weapons of mass destruction. Mass destruction weapons that threatens the total annihilation and extinction of all life forms from this our planet and Mother Earth. Yet they have the nerves, and the audacity to be calling, naming, labeling, listing, pronouncing, casting, broadcasting, recasting, and rebroadcasting upon us the curse word black, while calling, naming, labeling, listing, pronouncing, casting, broadcasting, recasting, and rebroadcasting upon themselves the word of light. Yes, the spiritual, the physical and spiritual and moral superiority, word white. Yes, this physical, spiritual, and moral superiority, the word white. That's what they cast on themselves. The evidence has shown, and the evidence continues to show, that these people are so black that they were and are still able to convince almost the entire populations of the earth by having them believing, believing that they are white and that we are their opposites. We highly melanin native people are their opposites, that we are black. That they have the world convinced and believe that they are the best, that they are the epitome of humanity, and that we are the worst, aka we are the antithesis of humanity. They have the world believe and convinced that they are on top and that we are at the bottom, that they are superior and that we are inferior, and that everyone else and every other race and races of humans are between and below them, yet above us. What audacity. That is how black they are. But on second thought, what else are we? Or what else should we expect? Or be expecting? What else should we be expecting from someone, anyone, a group of people, a race of people whose intrinsic nature and characteristics is black? It is by their fruits, that's how we know them. And it is by their fruits, that's how we can fairly judge them as the people of conscience, as the conscience of the world, which we'll talk about. Because we're out of time. Stay tuned. We can judge them fairly by their works, by their deeds, by their action, by their history, etc., etc. Stay tuned. However, in the interest of time, this will be the end of this part 15. So please stay tuned. There are much more thought-provoking truths, insights, and perspectives, etc. to come. So please join me for the continuation in part 16. There I'll pick up right where I'm leaving off here. Again, thanks for watching and listening. And if you think or believe that this my presentation are worth sharing, please share. Start a discussion. Criticize. Point out errors. Prove me wrong. With facts. I'm open. Discuss it with your friends and your family. Because it's very important. Research it. I hope and wish, as an old guy who's chipping out of here soon, when the time comes, as you get older, you're going, we're going. It's a youth I would like to see. I would like to see some young, and I see a lot of you coming to the knowledge anyhow. But take this up and study it for yourself. And if it makes sense, enlighten your rest of your young people. We old folks are stuck. You can't teach old dog new tricks. I'm not expecting old folks who are inculcated with the system's deception to even come to the knowledge of this, especially those who are proud of their black position, their black politician. No, it's you, youth. The future belongs to you. But then again, let me not detain your patience much longer. In the meantime and between time, he is willing that you, in your becoming, that you be more and more and more, and definitely not less, aka be less. Let no one be less you. For I am the mystic philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.